ready to trade real accounts, ready to make some serious money in trading, ready to take your trading to the next level. I assume that is why all of you are here, because you're spending time on a Saturday to learn more about trading, right? So awesome, good. So we are in the right, we have the right audience, so that is a good thing. So how many of you are here because you want to understand what it takes to get to that level and to accelerate your career? How many of you want to trade for, maybe not necessarily for your entire day, but certainly to make a living with your trading, right? I assume that's everybody here as well. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what separates traders who are ready for real prop from those who maybe need a little more structure and discipline before they're managing firm money, and that's totally fine. If you're at that position, obviously it's always about next step, next level. We're going to show you how everything we've built here at PropShop Trader is designed around that, and that is to find, prepare, and elevate traders into the real prop phase, trading real capital. No more sim accounts, right? So that's what we are after. Of course, before we dive in, we will send the recording out. Yeah, no worries. Before we dive in, we do have to post our disclaimer. Obviously, we can't guarantee any certain results. Trading's hard, so please understand the risks of trading, and please understand that we are not here to give you trading advice. Okay. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's dive in. What's our agenda today? We're going to look at the vision behind PropShop Trader. We're going to look at the difference between PropShop and maybe some of the other prop firms out there. We'll take a look at your path with us. The warrior phase, the gladiator phase, we're going to look at payouts, what's required for that. We'll look at different types of drawdowns. We'll look at the rules, real prop phase, and we'll look at tick blaze and some of the next steps, pricing, and so on. Okay, so let's get into it here. So our vision is simple. We stand to build a superior model, one that balances the trader interest and the firm risk. With that said, we want to build traders who can handle risk. The goal isn't just to pass a challenge or to hit a payout once. The goal is to trade consistently, manage your drawdowns, prove that you are ready for the next level, which is real firm capital. Now, we've been in the trading space for about 10 years or so. We've built plenty of indicators and algorithms, and we've taught thousands of traders on how to trade for prop firms. And so we have a lot of experience that led us to creating PropShop Trader as well. Okay. So the vision with all of this is to get traders paid more, get paid more often, and get paid faster. The system that we've built is about preparing you. It's every rule, every payout, every account, and every phase exists to move you closer to real prop. Because when you're there, it's not a simulation anymore. We're talking real money, real risk, real reward. Okay, so when you failed a real prop account, there's no resets. So we want to make sure that once you get there, that you are ready to go and ready to make some killer money, right? So what are some of the differences? We built PropShop again to reflect what real prop trading looks like. So that means simple structure, no gimmicks, no surprises. Apparently there's a frog that made it into my office somehow. I don't know how he got in here, but that's what happens when you live in the country, I guess. Interesting. He wants to learn how to trade, so he's going to learn some things here. One-step evaluations, direct to payout accounts, weekly payouts. You can trade up to 5 paid sim accounts. We're going to call them Kermit. Yeah, Jay, that's a good name to go with, I suppose. You could trade up to 3 real prop accounts, and we're not talking about splitting one account into 3. We're talking about 3 real-sized prop accounts. Okay. We have account sizes ranging from 25K to 250. We have drawdown customization. You can trade news. You can dollar cost average. You can trade with copiers and algos as well. No minimum trade required, large consistency rules, and extremely competitive pricing. So drawdown, you can fit that to your style, right? So above all, discipline is rewarded. So as you are approaching this event and you're sitting here and listening, think about not just can I pass this, not just can I get a payout, but can we operate like a professional, right? Like a professional trader who's here for the long run, because that's what we're looking for, right? So let's break down the path. Every trader at PropShop Trader moves through 3 distinct phases. So warrior phase, and you're going to notice there's a lot of warriors and gladiators on the screen here, and that's the theme that we've chosen. We've kind of adopted this theme as when you get into trading, you're really kind of fighting for your right to survive day in and day out, right? And that's what we see with trading, and that's the theme that we've adopted as a result. So warrior phase, this is your training ground. Okay, this is where you build control and awareness, and next you move into the gladiator phase. This is your proving ground. This is where you earn payouts and your consistency becomes your paycheck. And then you go to the real prop phase, which is your independence. Now you're trading for a real firm with real accounts and no more training wheels. So think about where you're at right now. Are you still building control? Are you consistent and are you scaling? Or are you ready to step into real prop? So drop that in the chat if you would. Where are you at in that journey? Would you start as an evaluation? Would you go right into a payout account and skip the evaluation, which you certainly can? Or are you saying, look, I am ready for the real prop phase, right? So good. Thanks for chiming in, guys. Yeah, we got some evals coming in. Good stuff. Just got the gladiator this week. Awesome. Welcome. Really glad to have you on board. That's great. So good deal. So let's talk about the warrior phase. Okay, the warrior phase is where you are sort of building that muscle memory. Maybe you're testing a new strategy. Maybe you're testing your own resilience and your own discipline to be able to trade your plan and to respect your drawdown, to stop the self-sabotage that we've all become familiar with at one point in our trading career, right? You've got unlimited time. You get up to, I'll just put everything on the screen here so you can see it all. You get up to 10 resets a month per account. This is the idea that, well, if you have to go through 50 evaluations in a month, maybe it's, you know, take a breather. We don't want you spending tons of money on evaluations, right? So we'll just slow it down a little bit. But you're proving to yourself, you're proving to us that you can operate inside a risk framework. And you know, every trader that works within our real prop team, they have that ability, right? It's the foundation, it's the longevity, it's, you know, trading for tomorrow, right? So you can have up to 5 active accounts, again, up to 10 resets. Your goal is to achieve the profit target without breaching your drawdown. We have 2 types of drawdown, end of day trail and full trail. Okay. So let's talk about gladiator phase. That is where we get to talk about payouts. And so we'll go into more depth on the payouts, but once you've shown that you have that control, you move into the gladiator phase. Now, if you know that you're already there, maybe you're already trading with other prop firms, maybe you've been trading a long time and you're trading your own account too, great. You can absolutely bypass the warrior phase, go right into a payout account. Excuse me. With the gladiator phase, there's weekly payouts. You can trade again up to 5 accounts. You have the full use of trade copiers if you'd like to, but you're developing that consistency and you're proving that consistency. And this phase is designed to simulate that rhythm of what it's like to be a professional trader. So you're managing simulated capital, right? But you're also managing your own emotions, your structure, and kind of feeling what it's like to get paid for that discipline. Okay. Let's keep moving on and let's talk about payouts. So you can qualify for a payout once you've traded at least 6 days in a new account. Okay, so only need 6 days to qualify for your first payout. There's no minimum profit per day. Okay, you just need to trade 6 days. You need to, in order to be eligible for a payout, you need to cover your drawdown plus $100 plus the payout. Okay, so if we use an example, let's say your drawdown was $2,500. Then you would need $2,600 plus your payout. We'll just use simple math and say you want to get paid $1,000 that week. Then you would need $3,600. Okay. The minimum payout is $800. We pay every Friday. Okay. I'm going to go through these line by line. Actually, it'll be easier for us. Whenever you request a payout, and this could be your first payout or subsequent payouts, you need to have 3 trading days in the week that you request a payout. Okay. So again, everything goes back to consistency and longevity, because When you trade as a live trader, if you don't trade, you don't get paid. And obviously traders like getting paid. So keep trading. So 3 days must be in the week that you request a payout. We also require 3 trading days during the week of your payout. So here's how this works is our traders will request a payout on the weekends. So some are requesting today and some will request tomorrow. Those payouts will get sent out next Friday as we review those. During that review phase, our traders are required to continue trading at least 3 days the following week. The idea behind this is not only to continue to prove that consistency, that it's not a one-off, it's not a whim, but also to go out and earn your next paycheck, so to speak. So the idea there is go earn the next payout while you're waiting for this one. So there's no weeks off, there's no calling it in. Now, if you have a vacation or something, let our team know. Okay, that stuff comes up, it's understandable. Minimum payout is $800, and you do need to adhere to a 30% consistency rule. So that means that your largest day would not be able to exceed 30% of the total payout. Again, this goes back to consistency and developing that day after day of being able to scale profits, right? If you're not familiar with that, certainly we have all this on our frequently asked questions site. So some of those of you that maybe you're new to prop, this might make your head turn a little bit. We have breakdowns on how all this works, okay? But for the sake of time, I'll keep moving forward. You also need to not fall behind the payout threshold when it comes time to get your payout. So an example of that would be, let's say, you have, again, we'll use that same example, 2,500 drawdown. You've got, is there seriously another frog in here? I hear like things coming from different sides of the office. The weirdest thing. I'm sorry. Shiny object. But don't fall below the payout threshold when it comes time to take a payout. So let's say we'll use that same example. You're at 3,600. You've covered your drawdown, which is 2,500. You've covered $100 for the buffer, and then you've also covered $1,000 for payout. Now you can request the full $1,000 payout. That's totally fine. You just need to make sure that when it comes time to issue the payout, you're above 2,600 in the account still. You can't be in a major drawdown, right? Now, what happens? What happens if you are below that threshold? Well, it's very simple. We just send the payout back to the account, and now you've already got a buffer built back up. And if you have 3 days of trading that week, and you've met the consistency rules and all of that, you can take a payout. So, good stuff. Avoid all prohibited trader policies. These are all on our website. Of course, they're posted right there for everybody to see so you understand how this all works. Again, the payout windows, our traders submit payouts on the weekends, and then those are paid out the following Friday, okay? I do see some questions coming through, and I will answer these. I'm gonna kind of keep the questions to the end. So if you do have a question, go ahead and type it in, and I will absolutely cover it at the end for you, okay? So feel free to keep them coming. But if we look at the payout amounts, we have them on the right here. So we have on the 25K, you can get 800 or 1,000, depending on, are you trading on an end of day account or a trailing drawdown, so on. We've got 1,000 or 1,250 on the 50Ks. And then our largest account is 1,875, which is the 250K, all right? So that times 5 times every week, you can make some serious money. So life is good. Let's talk about drawdowns. This is where you sort of learn to manage risk, right? That's the idea of you can only lose so much and you need to be able to show that you can make profit. Plain and simple, that's what prop firms are looking for. The ability to scale profit without drawing down too much, because that is what shows your equity curve. And the smoother the equity curve, the happier the prop firm is, right? So let's take a look at our drawdown. So this is the traditional trailing drawdown model. We'll look at that one first. PropShop offers the best trailing drawdowns in the business. The trailing drawdown, the reason for that is when we went to other firms, we saw that that when you go from a 50K to 100K, your account size doubles, your profit target doubles, your drawdown doesn't. And we wanted to change that. So when you move from one account to the next, your drawdown actually doubles as you go, or goes up in a linear fashion based on the scale of the account. So if you go from 25 to 50, your drawdown availability also doubles. When you go from 50 to 100, you go from a $2,500 drawdown into a $5,000 drawdown, which is higher than what you're going to see out there, right? Most firms are going to be at 3,000 to 3,500. Well, if you're going from 2,500 to 3,500, but you're doubling your target, well, that's not scaling in a linear fashion, right? You go from 100 to 250, your target goes up by 2.5 times, but so does your available drawdown. Now, we didn't stop there. We decided that, look, some traders might want additional drawdown available, so we offer that for a small additional fee. It's very small, and that gives you a full 1-to-1 drawdown to profit target ratio. Okay, so in this case, where can you go in the industry that you can trade a $15,000 target with a $15,000 drawdown? It just doesn't exist out there. So very unique. It's unique to PropShop Trader, and so good opportunities there. Let's talk about end of day drawdowns. Some traders prefer to have an end of day. They don't want to trade on a trailing drawdown because they feel like they're getting penalized if they're in a trade and they get out at break even, which I understand, and totally understand that. So some traders opt for the end of day drawdown. Now, there's a lot of confusion around the end of day drawdown rules. A lot of traders get tripped up on the first round. So the way that end of day drawdowns work, and this is true with every prop firm that I've seen, so at the end of the day, your high water mark is measured only at the end of the day. In a trailing drawdown, your high water mark is measured throughout the day on unrealized profit. So if you're up 500 bucks in a trade and you get out at break even, your high water mark actually went up by 500 bucks. On an end of day, that's not true. It's only on realized profits and only at the end of the day. So let's use an example here. Let's say you're at 50,000, you have a 2250 drawdown, and you get to 51,000 at the end of the day. That's where you land. And so you say, that's a great day. I'm going to go ahead and go about my day. And that is a great day, right? At the end of the day, your high water mark moves up to 51, which means your minimum goes up by $1,000 as well. Okay. So now your minimum isn't the, whatever it would be, 47,750. It would go up by $1,000. Now here's where traders get tripped up, because they think that as long as I'm above the minimum by the end of the day, I'm not going to fail. And that's not true. Very important to know this. This is true for every prop firm. If you breach the minimum balance at any point in time, at any point throughout the day, you will fail the account. So don't breach the minimum. The major advantage is that the high water mark changes at the end of the day, and so does the trailing drawdown. But if you breach the trailing drawdown at any point, even on unrealized, you will fail the account. So just good to know how it works so that you can plan accordingly and make sure that you don't fail the account, right? But let's talk about end of day. So when you go to a 25K, you have a $1,500 target, you have a 1225 drawdown, and just as before, when you, yeah, there we go. So high watermark only increases throughout the day. If you purchase in Warrior, it does carry over to Gladiator. We offer the best end of day drawdowns with no daily loss limit as well. So again, when you go from 25K to 50K, your target doubles, but so does your drawdown. And when you go from 50K to 100K, your target doubles, and so does your drawdown. So very cool. Some great opportunities there in those accounts. Let's talk about some of the things that we don't want, right? We've talked about what we do want. Let's talk about some of the flagging. So we flag for gambling tendencies. This would be like excessive position sizing or excessive max adverse usage on a trade. So if I were to ask you, what do you think is reasonable? If you have a $5,000 drawdown, how much are you willing to risk per trade? And feel free to chime in the chat box, because I'm curious where everybody sits on this one. If you have a $5,000 drawdown, how much would you risk per trade? We got 200 coming in, 5 contracts. We got 20%, around 300. These are all great answers. 50 bucks, 500 bucks, all really great answers. 350, it's great. Yeah. 10% with 2 minis, love it. So here's what we don't allow. We don't allow traders to use like all of the drawdown in one trade. Okay, so we do this because it's a coin flip. It's like this is it's coming down to luck and not skill, right? It's not really trading. It's kind of gambling. You're hanging on to hope that the trade's going to turn around. You add to the position, you add to the position, you add to the position. Oh, it's going to turn, it's going to turn. Boom, there goes your account. How many times have we seen it, right? If you do that, and we've probably all done it at some point, the account's going to fail. If the account doesn't fail, that's going to get flagged because it's not appropriate risk, right? So we do look at that. All of the answers that you guys gave, 20%, 500, which is 10% of the drawdown, all those are fine. That works. Okay, that works for us. But let's talk about excessive position sizing. Another thing that we flag for is, let's say you use 2 contracts and you trade 2 NQ, and that's kind of your MO. And all of a sudden you trade 15 contracts on NQ. Well, those of you that trade NQ know that that can blow up some capital pretty quickly. If your norm is 2 and you trade 10 or 15 or something, extra, in an extreme fashion, you're going to get flagged for that. And it's not to say that we're going to penalize you or not pay you, but it is to say that we're going to just say, hey, what happened? Did something go haywire? Were you going on tilt? Is really what we're looking for. So prove to us that you're managing risk and you're all good. We'll clear the flag. Okay, we have appeals that are very, very clear and simple to process. Hedging, we don't allow it. It's a CME thing. It's not a PropShop thing. Hedging's not allowed by CME. So if you have multiple accounts, you can't trade long NQ on one and short NQ at the same time on the other. If you do, you will get flagged. If it's look, sometimes a trade copier, you get crossed wires and accidentally flatten one of the followers instead of the leader. Next thing you know, you're flattening the leader and the follower goes the other way, but you get the idea. It happens. If it happens, close the trades immediately and send an appeal to our team. Okay, it happens. We just want you to know that you can't hedge. So if you're in the trade for like 5 minutes and you're doing it every time, obviously it's not going to fly. If you trade NQ long and MNQ short, so micro versus minis, that we do consider that hedging as well. It's not allowed. But if you want to trade YM or ES long and you want to trade short NQ, totally fine. No issues with that. So correlated markets, not a problem. Micros versus minis, not allowed. And certainly the same contract, not allowed. Okay. So good stuff. HFT, do I got any scalpers? Scalpers delight. Any scalpers in the house? If you're holding trades for less than 10 seconds, we will flag you. If you need to, yeah, hey Michael, I'm glad to see you here. I actually have your email and I'm working on that with our team. Okay, got you covered, boss. No worries. Some of you are HFT traders. That's totally fine as long as you're trading on liquid markets. You're not trying to scalp MCL with arbitrage and contract arbitrage or something weird. Yeah, totally fine. As long as you can do it in a live account, we'll allow it. Okay, so you'll get flagged the first time, let our team know. Once we clear that flag, it's cleared for that account. If you fail the account, well, unfortunately, you're going to get flagged on the new one. Just let us know and we'll have to go in and clear that one too. Okay. Let's go over no flipping days. Let's go back to the trader who trades 2 NQ and has got their 3 days minimum for the week. They've covered the consistency rule. They had 2 days and they only needed 1 more day for trading that week. So they put 1 micro on for 10 seconds. They get out and say, woohoo, I got a trading day. It's not going to fly. So here's what we look at, right? And if it's a flip day, you guys know. We're going to look at your contract sizing across the board. We're going to look at your time in the trade. And then we're going to look at, sorry, this frog's like jumping all over the place. Time in the trade, contracts, and micros versus minis and so on. You get the idea. So we will check for those things. If you flip, we're just going to not count it as a trading day. Okay. Oh, there it is. Number of trades, size of the trade, duration of the trades. flip days won't count. So if you do flip a day, just bear in mind, it's not going to be counted as a trading day. Now, maybe the market sucked that day and you're like, there's nothing to trade here. I'm not seeing anything. I tried to trade, but it wasn't looking right. So I got out right away. No problem. You just need to trade another day. Okay, no problem. Churning accounts is not allowed. That means you're buying accounts to try to, you're desperately, trying to get one to pay out, but you failed, 50 accounts to get one payout. Look, failed accounts, we get it, but if you're failing a whole bunch to get one payout, we're going to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? We'll want to make sure you're not just blowing money on blown accounts. Okay. And account must be in good standing, obviously, when it comes time to get a payout. Got to keep it in good standing. The appeal process, what we do is everything is on our dashboards. Okay, we have trader dashboards that show all of your trades, your trade percentages, your numbers, your profit factors, all that good stuff. You've got an equity curve. You've got a breakdown of every trade you've taken. You also have your flagging is going to all be there right front and center so that you know, here's what I can do, here's what I can't do. Because the worst thing is when you go into it and you go, I had no idea that was a rule, right? We want to be as transparent as humanly possible, tell you everything we possibly can up front. Just tell you manage risk, be consistent, we'll get you paid. Okay, so but everything's on the dashboard. You'll also get an email. It's a simple review process. Just send it into our team. Okay. All right. Good to go. Julio, there is a private chat box. I don't think they make it available to the attendees, just to the hosts. Okay, but I will answer questions for sure. Let's talk about real prop. This is where the rubber hits the road. These are live accounts. You can trade up to 3 real prop accounts. I get excited about this because this is what I'm responsible for here, is working with our real prop traders. So up to 3 accounts, you can get either 2,500 or 5,000 in drawdown per account. These are static drawdowns. These are real accounts. This isn't like, oh, you got $2,500 notional balance. No, these are real. So you have $2,500 of static drawdown. You have a daily loss limit, which is going to protect your account. Things happen. Maybe you had an order that got left on and you didn't realize it. And we're here to protect our money as much as we want to protect you as well. Okay. So there's a soft breach on a $2,500 drawdown. Soft breach is 500. On a 5,000, it's 1,000 per day. Okay. If you breach that, your account goes to done for the day, and you gotta wait to trade the next day. If you hear nothing else from this event, hear this. There are no payout caps in live. And real prop, there are no payout caps. It's an 80-20 split. You make it, you take it up to the profit splits. There's no payout thresholds. You don't have to hit so many minimum days and so many minimum days of profit and jump through this hoop and that. There are no payout thresholds. There's no payout caps, no consistency rules. If you make it all in one day, great. Get yourself paid. There's endless scaling opportunities. We have partnered with some of the biggest and best in the industry to make sure that we have endless scaling available for our participants. So this is like what everybody is striving for. And frankly, they should be, because where else can you go that you get no payout caps and all these wonderful things? So when you get to this point, you've proven that you deserve to be there. And so at that point, you've already shown that you can handle the risk. Okay, so good stuff. Qualifying. How do you qualify? We're looking for consistency and profitability and regular payouts. Ideally, multiple payouts in at least one account. There's no participation points here. There's no weak links. We can and will call you up at any time. If you're killing it and you're doing great, we're going to call you up, because there's a ton of opportunity here, especially with 3 accounts and the whole gamut. So some real great opportunity. All the details are front and center at propshoptrader.com/path-to-prop, P2P. All right, we also have Tick Blaze available for all of our users. It is free, completely free for our, I looked at the clock wrong. I thought it was 3:55. Woo, good. I still got plenty of time. Tick Blaze comes with PropShop. We get a free license to use Tick Blaze. Really capable, really great platform. There's a lot of really great things coming for it already too. Some of the highlights, if you haven't heard of Tick Blaze or used it before, There's a really killer order flow suite available with some really great signals. There's also there's profile levels for options levels for futures. So those of you that trade futures, if you want to see the options levels on futures, you can see open interest, you can see gamma, you can see volume, you can see put call spreads. All that stuff is available inside the desktop of TickBlaze, which is amazing. There's also a level 2 heat map coming very soon, which is killer. I was just using it a little bit yesterday, and I was having way too much fun. So that's coming. It's an award-winning platform. Just won another award at Benzinga this year for best prop trading platform. So really, really great stuff. TickBlaze also just launched its copier, the Ignite copier. There's a lot of good copiers out there, don't get me wrong, but I absolutely love this. There's no cloud, it's built into the platform, it's precise, it's got the speed built in, you can trade multi-broker, multi-asset, multi-prop, and it's firm and risk ready. So if you are trading, maybe you're a risk manager at a prop firm, great. We have risk tools that are available that are not available anywhere else in the industry. So really, really cool. Some of the benefits and highlights of this copier in particular, and the reason that we mention it is you can have multi-leaders and multi-followers all in the same group. You don't have to create multiple groups. You've got rounding, mini to micro, micro to mini. You've also got max loss and gain per account, whether that's a leader or a follower. And you can choose when you deactivate an account, do you want it to flatten the positions or not flatten the positions? It's just really, really great. So anyway, check it out. It is available now. It just launched this past week. So very good stuff. Highly recommended. Next steps. You would choose, are you going to start as a warrior or as a gladiator? There's two starting points. Gladiator is the where you're going to get the payouts. Select your account size. Do you want optional drawdown increase? You create your profile. You purchase your accounts. You can get up to 5 at a time, and then you start trading. And bearing in mind that if you do start as a gladiator, you do need to do KYC first, because we want to make sure that when it comes time to pay you, that we can actually pay you. So we'll have you do the KYC first just to make sure. Cool. If you want to join our community, we are on Discord. It's more of an announcement board than a chat and that kind of thing. But certainly you can enter to win competitions and things like that for sharing, and then obviously any announcements will come out there as well. So how many of you have entered to win the giveaway? Is there anybody who has not yet entered this giveaway? I'm going to post a link in the chat box. Click that link, enter your name, enter your email. Apparently we're giving 4, not 2 packs. We're giving 4 of the 50K accounts. Yeah, we're giving 4 of them away. So be sure, if you haven't entered, be sure to enter. That I just posted that link in the chat. So if you don't have that, please do so. I will pick winners by the end of this event. So you're going to know if you won. Good stuff. Let's talk about deals and discounts and all that stuff. So we've got a deal going on right now. 70% off everything. The evaluations are 70% off. They have no upgrade fees on these on this special. So 70% off. If you pass it, which I hope and trust that you will, you can move into Instant Gladiator at no cost. So you can get a payout, all that good stuff. So amazing opportunity, amazing deal. 70% off on the Instant Gladiators. If you want to skip the evaluation, you don't want to trade those 3 days plus or whatever, and you want to go right to Gladiator, you can, and you get 70% off that as well. Now, I assume that our folks here at Traders Corner have a special coupon code, so I'm going to ask that you go ahead and use their coupon code and make sure that that you get that from them, so that they get credit for referring you and all that good stuff. Oh, smokes! I just did something on the chat. Bear with me. There we go. Okay. So perfect. you're good to go there. So great deals. PropShopTrader.com. Just go there and you can take advantage of these great discounts. Okay. Let's talk about resets on Warriors. Our resets are only 25 bucks for the 25K or 50K, which is amazing. And it's only 30 bucks on the 100K, and it's only 50 bucks for the 250K. So there's no coupon needed. If you fail a Warrior and you need to reset, go for it. Okay, really, really cheap. Instant Gladiator resets. Now we're talking. If you make it to if you get to Gladiator through passing Warrior, or if you just go to Instant Gladiator and you happen to fail the account, it happens. These reset prices are really great, though I think actually, in full transparency, I think the discount is actually better than the resets right now. So, so it wouldn't really benefit you right now, but down the line it certainly will, because normally prices are not that heavily discounted. So take advantage of it while you can. But yeah, if you fail a Gladiator, you got 48 hours to just pay the reset price, and you can go right back to trading. So good stuff. Really great prices on these. Again, no code needed. This just pops up on your dashboard, and you can do that. So the coupon code that you need here is corner, CORNER, corner. So be sure to use that coupon code. Okay. If you need help is on the way. Support at PropShop Trader. It's been on the bottom of your screen this whole time. If you have additional questions that we haven't answered already, or we don't get to in the event, or you think of something later, reach out to our team. We have the best support in the industry. They're fast, they're knowledgeable, they're helpful. They're really great to work with. So if you need help, reach out to us. TickBlaze, if you need help from TickBlaze on platform support, just reach out to support@tickblaze.com. Okay. So I think we've gotten through most of the bulk of it. I'm going to go ahead and take some time to answer some questions now. So let's go ahead and see what questions we had come in. I'm going to go ahead and scale up here a little bit because I think we had some early on. Yeah, one of the traders said, I've seen people complain about this and some of the rules and things like that. And yeah, there will be some that do. And you know what? We're okay with that, because we're not looking to be all things to all traders. And in full transparency, we are here for traders who want to trade live. And if that is you, we want to help you become the best darn real trader that you can possibly be, because that is where you have the rewarding opportunity. You have the long-standing opportunity to where you can go day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, make money, make money, make money. That is what we are after. So if you need help, please reach out. We are always happy to help. You'd be surprised how many people actually reach out. And if you're not a part of like a trade room or a community or that kind of thing, if you're struggling as a trader, there's so many resources out there, and Traders Corner is an incredible resource for a lot of great trade rooms and education. So no excuses, right? We're all here to do very well as traders. So use the opportunities that are available for you. Yeah, I think, there's questions about reviews and things like that. Yeah, check out the reviews. I think, some people are going to be disappointed, and that's just the nature of prop trading. We like to think we're very reasonable, but not everybody's going to agree with us, and we understand. So on the 50K, what is the activation fee? Also the evaluation fee. How many days to trade to request a payout? How many times in a month? So it's weekly payouts. You need 6 days on your first payout. You need 3 days for every subsequent payout, and 30% consistency between payouts. So if you're doing the math, technically you got to trade 4 days between payouts, obviously, to outrun the 30% consistency. On a 50K, the activation fee is anywhere from 100 and up. However, most of the time with these specials, those activation fees are getting waived, like 70% off, and it's getting waived. So pricing's right on our website. If you just go to PropShopTrader.com, you'll see it. Varies by account size, obviously. 3 trading days in the week of the payout, and the payout is on Friday. Does it mean we have to trade 3 days between Monday to Thursday to be able to get the last week's request this Friday? That is absolutely true and extremely well worded, Sue. So bravo. That is absolutely correct. Yes. Trailing drawdown is huge. Yes, it is. Let's see. We talked about hedging. We covered that. Can't find the chat box. We talked about that. How do we see options levels in TickBlaze to trade futures? If you go to, let me pull it up and I'll give you an example. I can't pull it up right now because it's the weekend and you're not going to see any levels. They won't show up until Sunday when the data starts flowing again. So unfortunately, you won't be able to see it. But if you go to tickblaze.com/marketplace and you want to go down to striker profiles. So striker profiles, you can see some images here that show the different levels and things like that, but there's also a demo video here. So you can just click to watch this video and you'll get a better insight as to how it works. You can read up on how it works and all that, but this is in here. The voice might sound pretty familiar on that video. I think I remember doing that one. So really, it is really powerful, very, very powerful. So I highly recommend that as well. A lot of our traders are two best-selling that we've seen for our partners at TickBlaze for the order flow and for the striker. Traders love those. All right, so we got some more questions coming in. Keep them coming. I love it. It says my ATM strategy is 3 contracts, 40 ticks, and there are many times it hits in under 10 seconds. Is this a problem? I do have an entire trade plan written up with my strategy, scaling, all that. What markets do you trade? I assume it's probably like an NQ based on the 40 ticks and 10 seconds. That is absolutely fine. You will get flagged the first time. So just send a message into the team and they'll clear the flag for you. You just need to show us, here's kind of what I'm doing, here's how my strategy works, and it's all good. As long as it makes sense, you're good, which it sounds like it does. Is there any way to connect PropShop Trader to trade with Ninja? Sort of in a roundabout way, yes, there is. So Ninja Trader will connect to ETP Trade Copier, and ETP Trade Copier will connect to Rhythmic. Therefore, you can place your trades in Ninja and pass them through ETP to get to Rhythmic. So it is possible. We do not obviously officially support Ninja, so just make sure you test it on like an eval or something first to make sure it's all working. Need the link. I think we sent that out again. Desiree. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, there's no going back at this point, unfortunately. Bought the Gladiator and the Ignite copier. Awesome. Love it, love it. What common traits or patterns have you observed across higher performing traders? I love that question. Love it. Here is what we see. Okay, so I see all of the trading. That's my role here, and that's what I do. And I work with our traders, and I recruit our traders, and I work with our traders in live. So here, this is a great question. The best traders that we see, they trade smaller size. A lot of traders think, well, I need to trade big size and just keep scaling profits throughout the day. The best traders make a little profit every day and they walk away, and they make a little profit and they walk away. Now there's some big hitters out there. I think this week we had a couple traders hit $5,000 days, and look, if you can do that every day, I think we're both going to do very well. So, sorry, again, frogs, so weird. But the best traders they're willing to just, first off, you wouldn't think that I would have to say this, but unfortunately I do. They're willing to take a stop out. They're willing to take a loss. The best traders are doing that, and they're trading smaller size. They make their profits, they go about their day, they come back, they do it again the next day. They're not trying to swing for the fences. They make their small, boring profits day in and day out, and those are always the best traders because they have that longevity. They know they can do it day in and day out. So there's no set like this profit factor, this win rate, this market, although most of our traders trade NQ, I would say. Yeah, so those are some common traits among the best. Yeah. And they know what they're talking about. Like I've done some trader coaching with some of the live traders. I've been in trading for about 17 years. So it's pretty rare that you could throw a strategy at me that I haven't personally traded before. But they know what they're talking about. They know their strategy inside and out. They're extremely disciplined. They have a psychology plan on how they manage their emotions, and all that stuff comes into play for sure. All right, so good questions. If I'm trading with the algo on NQ, one account, and it's scalping, and I'm trading manual on NQ on a separate account, could that get flagged? Yes, absolutely it could. Here's my suggestion, Valentino. If your algo is in a trade, just only go with the same direction as that current trade. And if that means that you'd rather just sit on the sidelines on your discretional account, do that until you're done with the algo trade, just to be safe. Yeah. The alternative would be is if you're trading NQ, you could trade manually on say ES, but yeah, you would get flagged for that. Can Rhythmic be connected to Ninja? No, not currently, and not with PropShop Trader. What happens to the balance on the Gladiator when you get called to live? This is a great question too. I get this one a lot. So when you are trading on the Gladiator account, that is 100% simulated. There is no account. There are no profits. Any profits that you generate are 100% simulated, so that money doesn't exist. So your purpose in Gladiator, your purpose as a trader is to get paid on sim trading and to earn your payouts and to prove your consistency so you can go to live with a real account and uncapped payouts. Okay, so nothing happens to the balance in Gladiator because it doesn't technically exist. Good question. But it will contribute though to your accounts in live in terms of how much you're going to get for drawdown and things like that, because it's yeah, it's based on performance at the end of the day. So can we have 5 Gladiator accounts when we have 3 live accounts? No, not with us anyway. You could trade other prop firms and trade our 3 live accounts. We have some traders that do that, but no, you can't have sim and live at the same time, because that wouldn't make sense to us as a firm to put real money and capital behind you and then pay you in sim as well. Can you trade this on Ninja without Rhythmic? No. Can we trade outside the country while traveling? 100% yes, you can. What is the max payout per week on a 100K account? That would be 1,500 on the trailing drawdown and 1,250 on the end of day. Okay. After getting 3 or more payouts, at how much for those 3 payouts? Yeah, it's the same each payout for the first, yeah, until you get called to live. Can I use TickBlaze and Rhythmic on the same computer at the same time? 100%, you can, yes. Is the live account on Rhythmic too? Yes, it is. You may be able to connect the live accounts to Ninja. I'm not certain of that, so don't hold me to that. If you could try it. How many payouts do we give to the trader? It depends. It depends on their performance and how they're doing, and you know, if they're doing really well, we call them to live. So there's no set number as far as like guaranteed to get this many, guaranteed to not get this many, that kind of thing. So do you consider 200 to 300 profit per day account as a serious trader? Yes, I would. If you're doing it every single day, 100% yes. Yeah, traders can do really well off of that because we can scale that, right? It's more, the biggest thing that we look at as a risk team is your profit to drawdown. So how much drawdown did you use and how much were you able to make off of that? So this is some insight into behind the scenes type stuff. If your max drawdown was say 2,000, but you made 10,000 off of that drawdown, that's really good. That's a 5-to-1 drawdown to profit, right? Profit to drawdown, I should say. So that's very good. So that is what we look at predominantly, is small drawdowns with profitability, because that's, just think of the equity curve. Small dips, you know, how do you know it's a trending market? Well, you got moving up and to the right, and you got small drawdowns on the market, and then it goes back up, right? So the same thing with trading. That's what we're looking for. Do I have an option to trade a free copier within TickBlaze? I think so. I can't see why not. So can you use the Momo algo? Yes, absolutely, 100% you can. Can we trade on VPS? Yes, 100%. Approximately how many clients are receiving a payout of $1,500 per week? It's a good question. You can see the payouts on our website. If you go to PropShopTrader.com, we do post those. Look, we're a new firm. We haven't even hit the 6-month mark yet. We've been in planning for 2 years before that. We've been in the business for over 10 years, but we're a new prop firm. We're still growing. But in less than 6 months, we've paid out over $3 million in payouts. There's, I would think, very few prop firms starting during their first 6 months that have crossed that line. I'm sure it's possible, but it's very fast growth trajectory. So going strong. We've quite a lot going on here, which is great. When you are going for your first payout, what is the minimum you need to get a payout? Yeah, so what you need to do, Ernest, is you need to cover your drawdown. So if your drawdown's $2,500, you need to make at least that plus $100 plus whatever you're going to get paid out. Okay, so in that case, if you're on a 50K and you want the max payout, which is $1,250, then you got to get to 2,500 plus 100 plus 1,250, which, if my math serves me right, that would be 3,850. Okay. Can we have 5 gladiators when we have 3? Yeah, we already covered that. The answer is no. How do you scale us, and how fast will you scale us? Great question. That's on our site as well. Let me show you real quick. So if you go to PropShopTrader.com and go to how it works, path to prop, and we have our scaling plan in here. So phase 1, if you start with 2,500, once you hit 3,000 in profits, we're going to scale you up. In this phase, you have a 5,000 drawdown, and once you hit 6,000 in profits, we're going to scale you. Then you get into advanced, and you're starting to get to 10,000 drawdowns, and you get 15,000, and then we scale you beyond that. And it's really just, we come up with a scaling plan together at that point. So yeah, lots of opportunity to make some really great money. Which algos do I use? I personally don't trade much these days. I mostly work on the back end at this point, but I was always discretional as a trader personally. That's my preference. I've been trading a long time, so I trust myself more than anything, because I've proven that to myself. So, but algos are great if you like them. There's a lot of really good ones out there. How can we increase the 500 daily loss limit in the live account? If you are trading on a 100K or a 250K, most of those are going to start at the 5,000 drawdown level, which gives you 1,000 in daily loss limit. If I know some of you like to trade the NQ and you don't like the micro, you can go through $500 pretty quick on NQ, obviously. So that totally makes sense. And so for that, we would say either start with the 100K or higher on the gladiators, or just trade the micros on the smaller drawdown until you can scale up. So can you write custom algos? Yes, C# for Tick Blaze. Yeah. Say one is very successful, regular payouts. Can one go on vacation 4 to 6 weeks? Yes, just do need to let us know. Anything longer than 30 days without trading, you do need to let us know so your accounts don't get shut down, because we have ongoing costs. So if we are traveling overseas, should we use a local country rhythmic server or Chicago? If you're overseas, you probably want to use a different server. Yeah. So let's give away some accounts. Let's do it. I'm gonna go into my results here, and let's see what we got. We'll just leave that there. It's fine. Okay, let's pick a winner. Winner number 1, Mohammed Shagil. I'm not sure how to say it, but you won 50K account. Let me make notes so I make sure I give you your free accounts. All right, so Mohammed, you are a winner. Congratulations. Let's pick winner number 2. I think we've got 5 winners. Peter Greco, you won. Congratulations. Winner number 2. Let's pick another winner here. Let's go to this one. Winner number 3, Jill. I don't have a last name, but I do have your email, and there's a cash in the email address. So there you go. Let's pick one more. Last winner, last but not least, Andy Beach. you are a winner. Congrats, you guys got some free accounts coming, so love it. We will we'll send you an email with the details on how to redeem those free accounts, but you have 50K warriors coming your way for free. So congratulations to all the winners, love it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up on time. I do see a couple other questions here. For those of that still have the 500, what is the initial drawdown on live? Yeah, you would start at the 500, that 5,000 then, yeah. So based on that account, good deal. Cool, well, I think we got through all of it. We did it right in time and we answered all the questions. If you have more questions, just reach out to support@propshoptrader.com and we'll be happy to answer questions and might come up. So otherwise, we'll see you when it comes time to send payouts, and we'll see you when it comes time to call your name and tap you on the shoulder to call you up to live real prop accounts. So that is it for me, my friends. Thanks for hanging out on a Saturday, and your attendance is very much appreciated because otherwise I'd be talking to the frog here. And so thanks for being here with us. It's been my pleasure, and cheers to everybody.
Cheers. All the details and a few surprises are in the chat now. Jim, that was another